With your schedule, what it is now with your TV show in production, I assume you're in production now. Yeah. Will that mean that you're going to be releasing less podcasts, or are you going to keep it right around the same?
Yeah,
that's incredible.
We're going to keep doing 2 a week, every week.
Yeah, we found that, and people ask us, people write in and say, I want to start a podcast, what advice would you give us? And the first thing I always say is make it sound good and be regular. Mm-hmm. Pick a schedule, whatever it is. If it's once a week, that's great, but just stick to it, because you're going to lose your audience if people go to, every Tuesday and Thursday. They know without fail. I think we released one at like 11:50 one time at night.
It was so close. It was so close.
Without fail, over 4 years, we've released every Tuesday and Thursday, and later in the evening on Tuesdays and Thursdays, if it's not out, people start getting on the Facebook page. Where's my podcast? It's not up yet. What's going on? Are you guys alive?
You two could be television programming execs, because that's a rule that a lot of execs forget.
Yeah.
Keep it regular.
Yeah.
So that's a long-winded way of saying we're going to keep doing the podcast. That's definitely like the root of this whole thing. So, and it's going to tie in with the TV show, and it'll be a great thing.
Yeah.
Are there any topics that you've considered and looked into, but you just can't seem to find a way in, or they've sort of proven a little too elusive?
We've always wanted to do a Scientology podcast, and we never have. And it fits our brand great, and people have asked us repeatedly to do one.
Yesterday. Someone asked us again yesterday.
And we just haven't done it. Maybe we will at some point. They're fairly litigious. That's no secret. So a lot of people are scared away from covering them, and I think one day we might. Maybe this should be our final show.
Just drop the microphone.
Sorry, we're done.
Like, that's that.
Who are you going to sue?
Do you guys plan to have any guest stars, if you want to call it that, on the visual version of the podcast, as we call it?
We're hoping to.
Good.
We haven't locked anything down, but we're hoping to get some people in there.
Okay.
We're going to call in favors, break some thumbs, whatever we need to.
Who would you, if you had a wish list that you could get, what are some names?
Well, it'd be really cool to get some science leaders playing themselves, like Neil deGrasse Tyson would be awesome.
Very cool.
Or Michio Kaku would be awesome. Yeah. And then, we've managed to make friends with a few, like, real celebrities here and there. Mm-hmm. And so we'd love for them to be on. Our buddy John Hodgman, we'd love to get on. Cool. So we'll see. I mean, we're going to try. Let's say that.
Again, to be clear, like, absolutely no one's locked or anything.
No.
Yeah.
It's definitely, that's in the hopper, hopefully.
Okay. Well, we'll try and get the message out for you.
Please do.
Thank you.
Maybe start like a Facebook movement.
Yeah.
So doing 2 shows a week, what sort of preparation schedule do you guys have? And also, it seems like sometimes you guys surprise each other with facts. Does that, and I think that lends a lot to the podcast. Does that spontaneity, like, how do you guys separate what you research? Or?
We both start with an article from How Stuff Works that's, except for maybe like 2 or 3 episodes, every single one is based on a How Stuff Works article. And so we both read the same article, and we both have the same general structure of how the conversation will go. But we don't discuss it beforehand, and we both go off and do like other independent research as well. And then we come together and we talk about it. And so the first time when we record the podcast, we do it in one take, and maybe there's an edit here or there, but it's the first time either one of us is hearing what the other one has to say about it, or one another's takes. So that's, we just don't discuss it first. It's just, that's our conversation that's being recorded on it. So.
Yeah, we definitely try and surprise each other with stuff. Like, we'll basically research the same stuff, but then we'll get sneaky and like, I bet Josh hasn't seen this, and I'll spring it on him, and he does the same. And we can't act, so that's all real. When you hear me sound surprised in the booth, it's because I haven't heard it yet.
The high pitched wah, that's actually not real. Yeah.
Since we're here at Comic-Con, and Comic-Con is all about fandom, can you each tell me what are your fandoms, or what would you consider to be some of your pop culture passions?
That's a good one.
That is a good one. Well, I'm a Star Wars guy, just because I'm 41 years old and saw Star Wars in the theater when I was, 6. I know. So that's what I grew up with. I've never been into Star Trek, which people are shocked by. I know. But I did see the recent reboot of Star Trek, and I thought that was pretty awesome.
Isn't that the great divide, though? It's like Virginia and West Virginia, Star Trek and Star Wars. It's like, can't everyone just come together?
I think they do. But yeah, I guess the Star Wars universe would be my big one, and then comedy stuff. I'm a big comedy fan and writing fan, and like science fiction films. Ridley Scott, he's like a hero of mine.
Yeah, he is really.
And Tony to a lesser degree, but mainly Ridley. Yeah. Actually, he's awesome. Actually, PA'd for him one time. And he was super great.
Man, I'm sitting here like just scrambling through everything I like. The one thing that comes up is it has nothing to do with Comic-Con, but I think the one true thing that I'm a fan of is this book called 1491 that I frequently proselytize, and it's just this amazing book about how the Americas were totally different from how we thought. Have you read 1491
I haven't,
before?
but
It's
I've
a really
heard
great
about
book.
it.
It's about this guy, this writer, just went around to all these different archaeological digs and said, everything you know about the Americas prior to Columbus landing is totally wrong. And he just kind of like turned everything that I saw upside down with this book, and I've mentioned it many times on the podcast, and I try to get people to read it, and I've like written this guy emails before, and now that I think about it, when I step back, I'm like, I'm a total fan of Charles C. Mann.
Has he emailed you back?
He has. He's a really good, approachable guy. Yeah. So he, I guess that's one of my big fan things.
And The Simpsons.
No.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
All
that.
we do is talk about The Simpsons.
The Simpsons, yeah. And I have to say, as far as Comic-Con goes, I'm very excited about the Firefly panel. It's going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And I also want to go see Tarantino's Django Unchained preview. That's going to be pretty sweet too.
Are they showing that here?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know if it's the whole thing. It might be like a teaser or something like that.
And I'm a comic book guy too, so all the comic book movies and superhero stuff I'm way into.
So
I
you're in
am
your
a-
element here.
Yeah.
Complete Game of Thrones. Like,
Oh yeah.
addicted. I read
Me too.
every book, and it's like, all right, now what?
Yeah.
New season, and I'm done with the books. So that I'm addicted to, and love True Blood.
Yeah, me too.
Totally addicted.
Yeah.
And then I can't wait to see our Firefly panel, because the team has been working so hard to bring it together, and we're just pinching ourselves because we have
So awesome.
most of the cast for the panel, and then the special, we have everybody, which is great.
cool.
So, that
So
I
even
think when we
Jewel.
put this hour together, the last act will be parts of the panel, so we'll have
Okay.
Joss, but the interviews and the reunion special has everybody. So
Good.
I'm, as a fan, I can't wait to see what we do.